Hey guys, my name is David and I travel the world. In this video, I want to talk about the expo that I visited a couple of weeks ago. I want to talk about what I think about it, what it taught me, and if you should go or if you shouldn't. So, for those of you who don't know, and I didn't know as well, which is shocking because Expo is one of the biggest events in the world. Like, we're talking the Olympics, World Cup, like it's right there with them. So, the World Expo stands for exposition, is an event that is held every 5 years in a city around the world where countries or organizations can come and showcase whatever they're planning to do in the future, just talk about their countries and try to promote themselves. That's basically what it is. This year, it's held in Osaka, in Japan, on an artificially made island that is made specifically for the expo, which was pretty cool. All right, so right from the beginning, the first thing that you'll notice that you learn there's so many different pavilions, so you quickly learn about many different countries. This year there was around 160 countries, which is most of the world. I think there's like 193 recognized by UN, and you can walk from pavilion to pavilion. You can just visit a country, you can learn about it, you can talk to people, then you can go to the next one. So in a way, it is speed traveling. And as a result, I was able to add many countries on my bucket list that I had no idea about. Some of them to mention: Honduras, Armenia, Azerbaijan, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. I really want to visit all of the above. I just thought they're super interesting, so I want to see it with my own eyes. There's also a thing that sometimes the countries at the expo they present themselves in a way, and the reality is different. So that's why I want to go and check. You also get to talk to many people and taste a lot of different cultures, which normally, if you're in your country, is really hard. So you see the energy of the Latino people, you see the Japanese people that are more reserved and more respectful. Then you see the Middle Eastern hospitality. Then you see the Slavic culture, the Americans, and it's just so cool. It's like a huge melting pot of cultures, and you meet a lot of people, which is also a great thing. I also learned that the world is much bigger than we think. So many different countries, even the small countries, have their own cultures, their own history, their own pride. So there's just so much to see, and I'm not going to be able to see it in my life, which is a little bit disappointing. But also, it's really cool to see just all the humans, where we're coming from. We're all the same. So this is just super interesting to learn about. And yes, just seeing the expo, seeing that so many people come to one event, it just shows you how far humanity has come. And a lot of the pavilions, they talk about the past, they talk about the present, they talk about the future, and you see just how much we have achieved. Just from being hunter-gatherers in a forest without anything to creating first tools, and now there's AI and cars and phones and all that. It's just mind-blowing. I just find it super interesting. And Expo is a great way to see all that, and a lot of the countries showcase that. I also learned a lot about the future. The future can go in either direction. It can either be really, really good for most of the humanity. We can solve the big problems like the climate crisis, energy, and so much more. Or it's going to go downhill. There's a lot of ways to misuse that. So, on one hand, super exciting. On the other hand, it's a little bit stressful. And the more you learn about it, you learn about the risks. But I try to be a rational optimist. I hope we're going to handle this well. We will see, but it's only up to us, all of us, how we decide to use these technologies and how we're going to create the future. Innovation is everywhere, not just in the big countries like the US, Germany, but also in the small countries. There's a lot of islands or just a lot of countries that you might never heard of, or countries that are not often mentioned. There's a lot of things happening there. They're also thinking of the future, a lot of islands in the Pacific. Some of the things they were talking about, just super interesting. You should go visit. Interesting contrast was in the size of the pavilions. Some countries had a massive pavilion, some countries had a small one. It was really interesting to see. But either way, all the countries are proud of their culture, and a lot of the countries, most of the countries, they dream big. They want to do cool things in the future. Well, in a way, I also learned about it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Just me being there for 2.5 days, I talked to a lot of different people. And there was actually a guy from Bangladesh. Went to the Bangladeshi house, wanted to see it. And there was a guy looking like he's from Bangladesh. So I started a conversation with him. We started talking, and great conversation. And he asked me where I'm from. I said that I'm from the Czech Republic. And oh, that's cool. Like, here's my number. If you want to do some export import trade, with Bangladesh, hit me up and we can do that. So it's like, it's pretty cool. I mean, it was a pretty funny and nice story. And I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm gonna be importing some goods from Bangladesh to the Czech Republic. But yeah, I mean, just in general, when I travel and when you travel, you should talk to people as much as possible. And you never know. You strike a conversation. It can be your next wife, next husband. It can be your next business deal. You can make a lifelong friend. So just talking to people is an ultimate life hack, and it's one of the things that got reinforced at the expo. Globalization, colonialism still influences the world massively. I mean, you can see the languages that are spoken in different countries, the way they live, the influence. Especially colonialism has had a massive impact just on the way we live right now, and of course globalization as well. The fact that there's McDonald's in so many countries around the world. So this is just really interesting to see that in a way the cultures are getting similar, but also they are still really different. So I feel like this is just important to know about, that like Europeans went and they had a lot of colonies, and then why they did, and how it shows these days, like why there is Dutch spoken in Guyana, why there's French spoken, why there's English spoken. Well, because they were ruled by all of these three countries. They're still speaking the language now. So this is find it super interesting. And one thing that keeps being reinforced to me is the fact that we as a humanity, we focus too much on the external, on making bigger, on making bigger things, better things, more money, more AI, more growth. But people don't focus enough on the inside, on just being here, like the sakura trees, just being more in the moment and living more, not just working and trying to be better, which, like, of course, it is important, 100%. But if more people focus more on being more peaceful, then I think the world would be a better place. So, maybe all these innovations are cool, but we don't have to go somewhere to chase happiness and peace. We can go inside and maybe we can find it there. So yeah, that was one thing that kind of kept coming as I was there. I also learned about that the image matters. So a lot of the countries invest a lot of money in promoting their name in the world. Maybe some countries are known for maybe pretty negative things. So they come to the expo and they try to rebrand themselves. So it shows you that it's so important how people see you. The reality can be something, but it's more important how people perceive that. So in a way, the reality is subjective. So that was also shown at the expo. The organization of the expo was pretty good. I was surprised. There were, I don't know how many people, but definitely tens of thousands of people in the morning, and then in the evening it was the busiest when people were leaving. But the organization was really smooth. They built a subway line just to go to the expo, and there wasn't really a long wait. The line kept moving. One thing that was a little bit tough was that a lot of people don't speak English, even there at the expo, the organizers. So sometimes you have to use a Google Translate, body language, or you just have to figure things out yourself. But I mean, they had drinking water, good food. So I feel like overall it was run pretty well. And who knows, I might come back. It was a really, really great event. So overall, I had a great time at the expo. I definitely recommend you going either to the one here in Japan or just to any. It's really an experience worthwhile. I'm gonna try to make it a habit to go every 5 years if I can make it happen. And yeah, it taught me a lot. Met some nice people, learned about the future, about the world. It was great. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, don't forget to like it, subscribe and all that. And thank you. I'm gonna see you at the next video.